Richard Lucier was on his knees, bleeding into the same snow he once threw his daughters into, his hands pressed against his side, warm blood slipping through his fingers. He tried to stand. Failed. Again. Failed. No one came. No warriors. No sons. Only the storm. Then footsteps, slow, controlled. Not rescuers. Hunters. Richard looked up and felt it. Not pain. Not rage. Fear. They stepped into the firelight. 5 of them. The daughters he abandoned. Alive. Stronger than anything he had ever built. His breath caught. Because the worst part, he didn't recognize their faces. Isla. Her expression didn't change. Behind her, the wind bent. Lyra. The storm answered her. Then the ground cracked, frost spreading fast. Calla. The one he never cared to name. Richard swallowed hard. The border. Blackridge. I need... We know. Isla's voice cut clean. A step closer. Cold. Final. You crawled all this way. You crawled because there was nowhere else left that wanted you. The mountain did not celebrate victory. It held its breath. The Blackridge wolves were gone, but something worse had been left behind. Silence. Heavy. Wrong. The elders gathered before sunrise, not to celebrate, to count what was left and what was missing. Richard was dragged in last, not carried, not honored. Dragged. His boots carved 2 broken lines through the stone floor, leaving streaks of melting snow and blood behind him. His crimson cloak trailed like something dead. No one rushed to help him. Not anymore. Helene stood at the center of the hall. Still. Unmoving. Her emerald eyes swept across the room. Cold, but sharp, weighing every wolf who had once watched her fall. No one met her gaze, not even the elders. Isla stood at her right, Clara at her left, Wren just behind, and for the first time the pack saw the formation clearly. Not daughters, not survivors, a command structure. Elder Marta stepped forward, voice thin but steady. The territory stands. A pause. But the heart does not. The words landed heavy. Confused murmurs spread. What do you mean? The vault, Marta said. Open it. The heart vault of Silver Ridge had not been opened in 12 winters. Not because it was forbidden, because it was sacred. Inside it, the future of the pack. Food reserves, medicinal wolf salt, ancestral seeds. The things that kept wolves alive when the mountain decided to be cruel. Silence. Then a sharp inhale. Empty. Shelves stripped bare. Barrels cracked open. Nothing left. Not even scraps. No, one of the elders staggered forward. No, no, no. Marta didn't move. They didn't run, she said quietly. They looted us. How long? Someone demanded. Marta answered without hesitation. 2 days. The room froze. 2 days before what? Another asked. Helene's voice cut in. Before the first child starts to starve. Silence dropped like a blade. No one argued. No one questioned it. Because every wolf in that room understood winter. Understood hunger. Understood death that came slowly and stayed. Richard laughed. A broken, dry sound. You're panicking over supplies? He tried to push himself up. Failed. Again. You're still a pack, he rasped. You still have warriors. No, Helene said. One word. Final. You had warriors. Her eyes locked onto him. You threw them into the dead zone. Richard's jaw tightened. That was necessary. Isla stepped forward. Not fast, not angry, just certain. No, she said. That was your first mistake. Silence stretched. Then a voice, soft, but it carried. You don't even know our names. Every head turned. The 4th daughter stepped forward. Wind moved with her, not around her, with her. Her hair lifted slightly, though no breeze touched the others. Her eyes locked onto Richard, clear, unforgiving. "My name is Lyra." Richard stared. Nothing came. No recognition, no memory. Just absence. Her lips pressed into a thin line. "I learned to breathe in storms where the air cuts your lungs open," she said. "I learned to listen when the mountain speaks." The wind shifted. Sharper. Colder. Alive. "I don't need a pack to survive." A step back, and then the youngest moved forward. Barefoot, the stone beneath her feet cracked. Frost spread outward in thin veins. Climbing, reaching, hungry. Calla. Her eyes were the coldest of all. Not angry, not hurt. Just finished. "You never named me," she said, "so I named myself." She tilted her head slightly. "I am Calla." The temperature in the room dropped. Breath turned visible. "I learned what cold really is," she continued. "Not winter. Not snow. The kind that eats you from the inside until you stop feeling anything at all." She looked at him. Not as a father. Not even as a man. Just something irrelevant. "That's what you gave us." Clara stepped forward suddenly. Sharp, focused, her head tilted slightly. Then again, longer, slower. Her eyes narrowed. "Wolf salt," she said. A pause. Then, gunpowder. The room shifted instantly. Isla's gaze snapped toward her. "You're sure?" Clara nodded. "They didn't just take food." Her voice dropped. "They're making a deal." Silence, heavy, dangerous. Helene's eyes darkened. "Blackridge." Isla didn't hesitate. "Get the trail." Richard pushed himself forward, desperate now. "You can't go alone." No one answered him. No one looked at him. Isla turned, already moving. "We leave now." The others followed without question. Not one of them asked for permission. Not one of them waited. Because they didn't belong to Silver Ridge anymore. Silver Ridge belonged to them. The storm outside roared louder, as if it had been waiting. Helene stopped at the doorway, just for a moment. Without turning, she spoke. "You will stay here." Not a request, not a command, a decision already made. Richard's voice cracked. "You need me?" That made her pause. Just slightly. Then a quiet exhale. Almost tired. "No," she said. "We needed you years ago." She stepped into the storm and didn't look back. Richard was left in the hall, broken, bleeding, surrounded by a pack that no longer belonged to him. And for the first time, no one waited for him to speak. The dead zone did not welcome them. It tested them. Every step forward was earned, every breath stolen. Isla moved first, not because she was told to, because she already knew where to go. Clara followed slightly behind her, head tilted, breathing in the world like it was speaking directly to her. Ren stayed to the right, silent, watching the tree line. Lyra didn't walk. She adjusted, each step placed where the wind thinned, each movement efficient. Calla brought up the rear, and where she stepped, the storm broke. They didn't speak, didn't need to. This wasn't a pack moving. This was something sharper, something trained by hunger. The mountain shifted, not physically, something deeper. Lyra stopped, one hand lifted slightly. The wind tightened, focused, listening. Her eyes narrowed. "It's changing," she said. Isla didn't turn. "How?" Lyra exhaled slowly. "The storm isn't natural." A pause. "Then it's being pulled." Clara inhaled sharply. "They're burning wolf salt." Ren's head snapped toward her. "That's not possible." "It is if they're desperate," Clara replied. "And stupid." Isla's jaw tightened. They're signaling. Lyra nodded. To Blackridge. The wind howled suddenly, then cut off, like something had swallowed it. Calla stepped forward, barefoot, unaffected. The mountain doesn't like it, she said quietly. Frost spread under her feet, slow, controlled. They're tearing something open? Far from the dead zone. At the edge of Blackridge territory, Alistair raised a cup, drank deep, spilled half of it down his front. Didn't care. They'll come, he said, grinning. They always do. Silas didn't smile. He watched the fire. Careful. Calculating. This isn't over, he muttered. Alistair scoffed. It is for us. He gestured to the crates behind them. Wolf salt. Seeds. Everything Silver Ridge needed to survive winter. Everything they stole. We made a trade, Alistair continued. They get the territory. We get power. Silas finally looked at him. You trust them? Alistair laughed. I don't need to trust them. A pause. Or I just need to be more useful than the next wolf. Behind them, a Blackridge scout watched, silent, unimpressed. To them, the Golden Suns weren't kings. They were currency. Isla stopped. Instantly, the others did too. No signal, no sound, just instinct. Wren's eyes flicked left. Clara inhaled, froze. We're surrounded. Shapes moved between the trees. Dark, patient. Blackridge scouts, a circle. Closing. One stepped forward, smirking. Well, he said, look what walked into the trap. Isla didn't move, didn't react. 5 girls, another added. Your brother said you'd be easy. That was the mistake. A single breath passed, then everything changed. Lyra moved first. The wind snapped inward, collapsing around the scouts like a fist. They staggered, disoriented, gasping. Wren vanished. One scout dropped. No sound, just gone. Clara moved next. Fast, precise. She hit pressure points, throats, joints. Every strike calculated. No wasted motion, no hesitation. Alistair fought like a wolf. Clara fought like survival itself. Then Calla stepped forward, and the temperature dropped. Violently. Frost exploded across the ground, climbing boots, freezing limbs. One scout screamed, cut short, as ice sealed his jaw shut. Another tried to run, slipped and shattered something on impact. Calla didn't chase, didn't rush. She walked, and the cold followed, hungry, unforgiving. Isla stood at the center, watching, measuring. Then one scout broke through, charging straight at her. Desperate. He swung. She didn't block, didn't step back. She stepped in. One strike. Clean. Final. He dropped. Didn't get back up. Silence. Again. But different now. Not tension. Aftermath. On bodies in the snow. Breath fading. The daughters stood untouched, not lucky, not spared. Better. Clara knelt beside one of the scouts, checked his coat, pulled something out, a mark, burned into leather. She held it up. Blackridge insignia, but beneath it another symbol, carved, crude, familiar. Isla's eyes hardened. Alistair. Wren stepped closer. He marked them. Clara nodded. He didn't just run. A pause. Then, he sold us. The wind picked up again, but colder now, sharper, because this wasn't survival anymore. This was betrayal. Isla turned toward the direction of Blackridge. Her voice dropped. Dead calm. Then we stop running. A beat. Then we hunt. They moved. Faster now. Sharper. No hesitation left. No doubt. Because the truth had settled in fully. This wasn't about saving the pack anymore. Or this was about ending something that should never have been built. Blackridge did not sleep. It watched. High walls of timber and bone stood against the storm, lit by torches that burned too bright, fed by stolen wolf salt. Inside laughter, drunken, careless. Alistair sat near the center, boots on a crate that did not belong to him, silver ridge markings still visible beneath the dirt. He drank like a man who thought the future was already his. Silas stood apart, always apart, watching, measuring exits, counting wolves, because deep down he knew something Alistair didn't. Power taken is never respected, only tolerated. One of the fires flickered, then bent, then went out. A second followed, then a third. Laughter died with it. Silas straightened slowly. "Something's wrong," Alistair scoffed. "It's a storm." The ground cracked. The frost shot across the camp like a living thing. Torches froze mid-burn. Flames trapped turned into blue glass. Unmoving, silent, dead. Then they stepped through the gate. 5 figures. No rush, no hesitation. The storm followed them in. There is a moment when power shifts so completely that even the air knows who no longer belongs. Blackridge felt it, even before they understood it. Alistair stood, too fast, too loud. "What is this?" His voice cracked, because for the first time no one was looking at him. Not the scouts, not the Blackridge wolves, not even Silas. They were all watching the daughters. Isla walked forward, slow, measured, each step echoing louder than it should. Alistair forced a laugh. "You came," he said. "Good. Saves us the trouble. You made a deal." Her voice cut through him. Flat. Certain. Silas stiffened. Though Alistair didn't answer, didn't deny it, because he couldn't. Clara stepped forward, held up the carved mark. "You sold us?" Silence spread. Heavy, ugly. One of the Blackridge wolves shifted uncomfortably, because even they understood there are lines you don't cross. Alistair shrugged. "They're just wolves," he said. "You're just wolves." That was the second mistake. Silas moved first. A blade flashed in his hand, fast, hidden, aimed straight for Alistair's throat, but Isla was faster. Silas froze, his breath hitched, because her grip didn't feel human, didn't feel like anything he understood. She twisted. The blade dropped. Silas staggered back, eyes wide. "He would have killed you," Isla said calmly. Alistair laughed, but it was thin now. Cracking. "You see?" he snapped. "This is why we had to leave." "No," Isla said, a step closer. "Or this is why you were never fit to stay." Some men inherit power. Others expose themselves the moment it's tested. Richard built sons who never had to earn anything, so the first time the world asked them to, they broke. A Blackridge alpha stepped forward, massive, scarred. "This is not your territory," he growled. Calla didn't respond. She stepped forward instead, barefoot, calm. Then she exhaled. The ground froze solid. The fire pits shattered. Blue glass cracked outward, climbing, consuming. The alpha tried to move his legs locked, frozen in place. The entire camp stopped, because this was not strength. This was control. Lyra lifted her hand. The wind compressed. Every wolf in the camp felt it pressure in their lungs. Breath thinning, panic rising. She tilted her head slightly and released it. The message was clear. And they weren't here to fight. They were here to end it. They were dragged back. Alistair, Silas. Not as heirs, not as wolves of status, just weight. Thrown at the center of Silver Ridge. The pack gathered, silent, watching. Richard stood this time. Barely. Leaning on what was left of his strength. His silver-streaked hair hung loose, his cloak torn beyond meaning. And for the first time he didn't speak. Helene stepped forward, emerald eyes cold as cut stone. She looked at her sons, not with grief, not with anger, just truth. "You broke blood," she said. "You sold your own pack." A pause. You are no longer wolves of Silver Ridge. You are oath-breakers, the word echoed, heavy, final. You will live, she continued, not as kings, not as heirs, but as nameless Omegas. Alistair lunged, desperate. No! Wren moved, one step, only dropped before he reached her. Didn't rise again. Silas said nothing, because even he understood this was mercy, and it would hurt longer than death. Death ends pain, but being forced to live, as the thing you once despised, that lingers, that teaches. Richard stepped forward. Finally, his voice cracked, low. Helene, she didn't look at him. I built this pack, a pause, long, painful. Then, no, she said. You ruled it, a beat. They built it. Her eyes shifted to the daughters, standing, unshaken, unbreakable. You will go, Helene continued, to the dead zone. The words hit him harder than any wound. To the cabin, the same one, the same cold, the same silence. You will live, she said, and you will watch. A pause. As they become what you tried to destroy. Richard didn't argue. Because now finally he understood. Not power, not legacy, consequence. The 5 daughters stood at the entrance of Silver Ridge, wind behind them, the mountain quiet, waiting. Isla stepped forward, turned, faced the pack, her voice carried, clear, unshaken. I'm the alpha now. If you were in her place, after everything he did, would you have saved him, or left him in that snow, the way he left them? Tell me in the comments. And if this story stayed with you, you already know what to do.